So
I don't care about your bickering and infighting.
Shut up.
He brought it for me as a professional courtesy.
Look at this.
Wow.
Wait a second.
Whoa!
That's
Jake Garrett!
Look out! He just got gone.
And the double breaker on the floor.
And the Gambinos are right out to hell. That didn't take long.
Chuck was just announcing him as the newest employee of the Gambino Brothers Moving Company, and I guess Jake Garrett didn't like it.
Jake Garrett just assaulted the cousin of Mickey and Marshall Gambino. That's Jimmy DeMarco, their cousin. And you know how these Italian families work. Jake Garrett, he's been frustrated about being on ring crew for so many weeks, but he might be getting his comeuppance right now.
And the fans getting behind Jake. Kind of surprised to see that.
And Jake is holding off the Gambino brothers. They both have chairs. He's bare-fisted, and they won't attack him.
That shows just how intimidating Jake Garrett is. The opponent, Brad Thomas, in the ring.
Well, this was supposed to be a battle of a couple of trainees in the...
That's right. Look out, they're coming this way. Come on, Garrett. Come on. Jake Garrett backing off very slowly.
This is some kind of Mexican-Italian-American standoff.
Well, the fans are applauding Jake's courage, but he just brutally attacked Jimmy DeMarco before this match. DeMarco looking forward to his big debut here in IWC against Brad Thomas, and Garrett has ruined it.
What's going on with Jake Garrett that he's attacking trainees, he's attacking kids trying to make their debut match? What kind of jealous, bitter freak is he?
Let's see. His frustration is totally boiled over, and promoter Norm Connors trying to step in and settle this. It looks like Garrett's going to attack anybody until he gets put back in the ring. But you mentioned the Gambinos sticking up very quickly for Jimmy DeMarco, as you said that they're cousins.
Well, family is family.
With a capital F. Now, wait a minute. I love this music, but why is he here?
Ah, yes, ladies and gentlemen. Your once and future god, Sterling James Keenan.
The man who has dubbed himself the Super Indy Killer in recent weeks.
No, let it keep playing.
When I got here tonight and I found out that I didn't get voted into the match, I wasn't real happy.
He's rarely really happy.
And realized you are the American public. And if anything in history would prove true, you cannot trust the American public to vote for anything.
I'm gonna stay out of that one.
And I got to thinking, and I realized, hell, I'm Sterling James Keenan. I beat CM Punk.
That's true.
Punk's hiding his face.
Everybody in the IWC locker room. And I'm the best thing to happen to professional wrestling since ring rats. Wait a minute.
That's true.
Hey, what's your name?
Brad Thomas.
Well, his name is apparently Brad.
15 seconds to get out of my ring while I talk. 15 seconds, you can cut that out, can't you, hillbilly?
He's not a hillbilly, he's from California.
Come on.
Brad Thomas.
They have hillbillies in California.
Oh, they do?
Oh, yeah.
Thomas is an accomplished athlete, even though he's not too well known about these parts. Sterling can't underestimate any level of competition that makes it here to IWC.
I don't think Thomas is going to leave. He came out for his match. He'll take it with whomever.
Hey, and to finish my thought that Joe interrupted, of course they have hillbillies in California. They even have hillbillies in Beverly Hills.
Ah, yes.
Why isn't this kid? Oh, my God. Wow.
And Thomas right back with a left hand. And an arm drag. We're underway. Brad Thomas making an impression on Sterling James Keenan.
Look at this kid, Brad Thomas, not backing down. Originally from San Andreas, California, moved to the East Coast to get more competition. Possibly most famous in his career was a feud he had with beautiful Bobby Eaton. So we know he's a formidable opponent.
Neck breaker there after the Manhattan drop by Sterling James Keenan. He came out here wanting an opponent. He ended up getting one, even though he didn't get voted into that match against Petey Williams. And a big vertical suplex. No, he didn't take him down. Oh, poke him in the eye. You like that, don't you, King?
Absolutely. Little showboat never hurt anybody but his opponent.
That was like a perfect move that Kingdom James would like.
That's the epitome of arrogance by Sterling James Keenan. What a lariat, taking Thomas's head off.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stan Hansen couldn't have done that any better.
A very rude welcome to the IWC for Brad Thomas. And a kick out here.
What is it about this kid that the crowd likes so much they're chanting his name?
It may not just be a like for Brad Thomas, but an utter disdain for Sterling James Keenan, who has run rampant over the IWC
Look at
for
that.
several months. Sunset flip.
Only two. Duck under. They caught with a drop kick. Thomas looking good here with a body slam on Sterling James Keenan. He's heading up.
Well, he's showing us a lot, but I mean, if Chuck Roberts can't even get your name right.
Top rope moonsault, that's Thomas's specialty, but Sterling moved out of the way.
I didn't know he was old enough to have a specialty. Hooks him up. MK Ultra.
It is over.
Yes. That's the move that won him the IWC title. And it's what he used to beat Brad Thomas.
Ah, yes. Now he's killing them before they even get a chance to become Super Indies. Of profit.
A voice crying out from the middle of the ring.
That's a nice hat.
I would like you now to help me welcome the first Filipino male supermodel of wrestling. From Manila, in the Philippines, ladies and gentlemen, Shiima! Xion.
Rundown on his fashion. Very nice. Now, Joe, you're secure enough in your manhood that you can say that that's an attractive man, can't you?
Well, there's no doubt about it that genetics has treated this man very, very well, but he doesn't need a flaunt about it.
Wow, you've come a long way, Kingdom.
Hey,
As far as question, go ahead.
Jeff, Joe thinks he's attractive.
Reduce.
Sorry, I couldn't have...
What's supposed to happen right now is we're supposed to... Bart's taking a stage.
Fans getting on Chris Maverick here as he prepares.
Between Shiima and Gory But we did that. We did that last month. Shiima beat him. Shiima's gonna beat him again. You know how it's gonna work. He's gonna come right out here. He's gonna go really fast. Shiima's gonna grab him. He's gonna throw over here. He's gonna throw over there. He's gonna beat the crowd out. And then, you know, he's gonna drop him on his head. He'll break his neck. Gory will never wrestle again. So, instead, we've got something better. We've got things that we worked out backstage. What's going to happen now is Shiima is going to pick one, and only one, woman out of the crowd now. You can come up to the ring, and you get to make out with the supermodel for one full minute.
Are you kidding me?
Put your hand down, Joe.
Stop it.
How do you do play-by-play for this?
This is really probably not a smart idea in Pittsburgh, of all places, to offer to take a random woman into the ring and make out with her. I mean,
Does Xion love himself this much that he thinks everyone in attendance wants to be with him?
yeah, apparently.
This is ridiculous.
After checking out every single woman in this crowd, I have decided that I would like to make out with absolutely none of these snakes in Wilmerding.
And now he's apparently too good for them all.
I mean, we all know about my 600 club, right? Well, you know what? The only 600 club that any of you women would ever join is the 600-pound club. Trim spot, baby. Trim spot.
What a prima donna.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say we were going to change it, but maybe we'll go that way.
Well, I've got nothing against an ego-filled diatribe, but, you know, passing up Nookie, that's just wrong.
I guess he has very exacting standards.
Well, remember, Xion has that 600 club he claims to
Look
be.
out!
When Gory rushing the ring. Remember what happened last month in Wilmerding? That snapmare driver from Lust to Dust put Gory on the shelf and caused him to lose that 6-man tag match.
And Jason Gory out for revenge in this singles match. Irish whip reversed by Xion. Here he comes. And Gory elevates him to the apron and nails him with a forearm. These are a couple of graduates of the Coalition of Competition School here in IWC.
And despite Xion's attitude, I think these two men's abilities have been one of the true Cinderella stories in IWC. Both men just 18 years of age and are performing beyond their years.
Wait, I think he's gonna fly.
No, baseball slide takes out Xion. Gory coming in this match very focused. I should mention my name is Jeff Gorman. I'm joined by Joe Dombrowski and Kingdom James here at the IWC. Coming from Wilmerding, Pennsylvania at the YMCA.
And this is a call to arms too, Jeff. And what a great way to officially kick it off with our first official match of the evening. Xion and Gory back and forth now center ring.
A lot of bad blood developing very quickly between these two. Xion going in from behind and nails him with a reverse neck breaker.
Spinning faster than I could pay attention. Wow, that was frightening. You guys mentioned, you both mentioned, both of these guys, recent graduates of the Coalition of Competition. That presents a problem for both of them. They know each other. They trained together. They came up together, and they debuted against each other. If there's, you talk about long-standing feuds, talk about two guys who learned the craft with each other. These guys are gonna know each other. How do you surprise one another?
And look at Xion going for the photo opportunity, showing off his body, showing off that precarious poison heart tattoo located on his waist.
And it's such a natural rivalry between these two because both of these guys are trying to be the big star coming out of the school. No one wants to be, you know, in each other's shadow here. So these matches are very important. Hooks him over and gets two. Gory right back up with a chancery and rides him down nicely, hooks him in a cradle for two. Referee in there is Bruce Gray.
And so far this series is even at one apiece. Gory got the win. Shiima pinned Gory in a 6-man tag match the next week. These men have been dead even so far. This is the rubber match.
Nice abdominal stretch here by Jason Gory.
Match started off hot and fast. A lot of high-impact maneuvers. Now it's simmered down into a combination of submission holds and pinning combinations. See, the problem is with both of these guys, they're fighting for daddy's love.
Oh, off the back, down into a famouser. Who's
Very
Daddy?
nice. Daddy is their trainer. They are both out to prove that they are the cream of the crop from the Coalition of Competition's class of 2004. That was a whole lot of C-words.
And notice the tempo pace of this matchup. These men aren't just one-trick ponies. They're very, very well-rounded and very skilled, despite being just 18 years of age and not even having a dozen matches under their belt yet.
Double arm suplex. I don't know why Xion would lift up Jason Gory on a pin like that.
Well, because he wasn't done showing off, Jeff.
Whoa,
I'm sorry to cut you off, Joe. But that's
and look at Chris Maverick behind referee Bruce Gray's back. That's the height of arrogance of Xion. He thinks he has Gory right where he wants him, but you cannot underestimate Gory. Look at this. Oh my God.
Drags him and flips him face first. Xion in all his glory in there with that pose.
Again, striking poses. More concerned with photo opportunities. More concerned with his modeling success, it seems, than he is with finishing Gory.
Well, you can take the wrestler out of the modeling studio, but you can't take the supermodel out of the wrestler.
And
Isn't that what they always say?
No, but Xion's complaining about the count now.
Yeah, I think that was an old Confucius saying.
Once again, Gory fighting out of a prawn hold into a sunset flip and two. Right back up. Oh, nicely nicely there with a
STO takedown into a backbreaker, and Jason, Gory, and Xion. Now Gory with the advantage, maybe going for a lateral press.
and gets 2 count there. These guys coming up with lots of good little variations on familiar moves, and they're keeping everybody off balance, including each other. Oh, he got caught coming in.
Handspring elbow countered by the knee right in the spine, and Chris Maverick strategically positioning himself now. The native of Hell's Canyon, Idaho, Jason Gory, is down for the count. Will this be out? No.
No, only 2. Like you mentioned, this is the rubber match. These two have a lot of pride against each other here because, you know, once they're done with each other, the winner of this series is probably going to go on to higher opponents. The loser might have to wait a while to even get in the ring again.
Look at this innovative maneuver, almost a variation of Sterling James Keenan's maneuver in the ropes, only he
Like
has
the Helter Skelter,
Exactly,
yeah.
just like the Helter Skelter. But look at the balance by Xion, and look at the torque put on Jason Gory's neck.
And that move doesn't have to be on for very long to be very effective. And Gory's feeling the effects of it right now. Xion bad-mouthing the crowd, whips Gory in reversal, catches him, and plants him with an enormous floating DDT.
Hits him with a body scissors to get all the momentum, and then drives him down, top of the head first, into the canvas. And again, both men are down.
Incredibly high impact. Jeff, do you remember being 18 where you could abuse your body all night long and wake up in the morning and feel fresh and fine?
Yep, it's called cramming for finals at Northwestern University, but I sure didn't feel fine. I didn't perform fine either.
And I need a chiropractor to get out of the car these days.
Gory going for masochistic
Look out.
healing, a counter by Xion.
Maverick! Whoa!
Communication, what a shot to the jaw!
He really nailed his own man very hard.
Gory with the Gory move!
Oh!
Nicely done, and he's neutralized Maverick. Now can he put away Shiima Xion?
Gory has taken care of 2 men in a matter of seconds.
Huge mistake in tactics on the part of Chris Maverick. I'm not even sure why Bruce Gray is allowing him to be in the ring! 450!
The Firebird splash, and Maverick is out.
Unbelievable! Is there any high-risk move this kid can't do?
The problem is, he's paying attention to Chris Maverick. Shiima Xion's had time to recover.
Here we go. You're right, Kingdom. Xion's ready to go. And he nails him with a running inverted DDT. He's gonna go for the pin. And 2. So Maverick really took one for the team there. And he basically made up for his mistake.
And there goes Zion's comfort zone. He's out on his own out there. No outside assistance. Going for from lost
Here
to
comes
dust.
Lost to
Going
Dust.
for it.
Snapmare
No.
driver countered.
And
Masochistic. He takes him down. Is this
Gory.
gonna be it? His signature move?
He
And
got it.
Congratulations, Jason Gory. But you've got a new problem. Sebastian Dark is in the ring.
Oh no.
Look out. Dark's got him. Hooks him up for the DNR.
Do not resuscitate. Jason Gory is out.
Now what is Sebastian Dark's problem?
Chris Maverick.
DNR.
We saw when he did the head tie, and we don't need to get into that anymore. And Xion celebrating with Dark. Big mistake. Rookie mistake. DNR to Xion too. What's Dark's?
Dark, another guy frustrated that he didn't win that vote to face Petey Williams today.
Well,
He
That
doesn't
means
even
he's
have
not-
a match tonight.
That's right. That means he's not in the Super Indy match, and he's wiped out everybody in the ring. A great match. The fans, many of the fans, giving a standing ovation to Jason Gory, but they're all wiped out.
Jason Gory deserves it. Even Xion deserves it despite his attitude. And Dark's gonna talk. Come on. Dark has been inexcusable these past 2 months, and it's only getting worse.
Taking care of this riffraff here.
What an insult.
I'm more concerned with everyone in this audience. You guys had a choice for 1 month to pick an opponent for Petey Williams. And who in the hell did you pick?
Apparently Josh Prohibition won the voting. Sterling and Dark both upset about not getting a chance to wrestle Petey.
Why shouldn't he be?
Nobody voted for me in this state. I'm going to be around for 4 more years to get stuck with me. Now I'm bigger and better matters. champion that ever came into this company.
Hentai still partially blind thanks to Dark and his album.
Prohibition didn't take him out. I took him out.
And that's nothing to gloat about.
People don't seem to understand that.
They're dragging away corpses from the ring.
Great.
You know, if you pick him up, that works better.
He's dragging his man to the back.
We're going to do a little year review here for 2004 for Sebastian Dark.
Cool.
This is not cool.
Sorry. I like your interview.
Dark is a disgrace. This is not cool, Jeff.
They think, Dark thinks he's cheering for them. They're cheering for Jason Gory.
Shirley Joe was going to retire. Shut up!
And the fans are just as disgusted by Dark as the rest of us.
Sebastian Dark is going to be in this ring for as long as he wants to be tonight, and I would dare anybody in the locker room to move him.
Does this guy not have a conscience? Does he not have a heart? What's wrong with him?
Now, like I was saying, before so rudely interrupted by the retard of the year, you can vote for him on any episode. Shirley Doe, a man who wanted to retire, I took him out. Where is he now? Yeah, he won the cup. Where the hell am I? I have 4 losses since I came to IWC. Where the hell have I gone?
That is an impressive record.
Waters is leaving the area because he's afraid of me. He wanted to fire my ass. Instead of that, he's leaving.
Well, we all know why he wanted fire Dark.
They might be boring, my friends, but you paid to listen to me talk to you.
Uh-oh, here comes Norm Connors.
Norm might want to avoid the ring.
I didn't spend my unemployment check to come to a stupid wrestling show like all you ruthless people did. That's what you're missing me too, Blade.
Promoter Norm Connors listening very intently to this speech. Dark's in hot water as it is. He should not go any further.
But you know what? The era of super hentai is over. Be ready.
Well, a little history lesson from Sebastian Dark talking about all the carnage.
Gregory is leaving for Iraq in mid-January. That is basically the send-off here. This is his last IWC match for the known future as a result of being called to duty.
That's right, and that's why the fans came out and cheered for him, even though he is aligned with Bubba the Bulldog against the popular Jimmy Vegas, who's about to come out right now. appropriate opponent here for Dennis Gregory. His final match before he goes overseas into the service. And he takes on his former compadre and the only other man besides himself who's won the IWC title twice. Dennis Gregory versus Jimmy Vegas.
And remember, this matchup started with the dissection of the self-proclaimed triple threat. When Bubba the Bulldog came back, him and Dennis Gregory completely turned on Jimmy Vegas and kicked him out of the group.
And they're about to lock up here. It looks like we've been joined by...
Not now. We're trying to send off Dennis Gregory.
Ladies and gentlemen,
show up.
I'll take care of this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming to the booth now, one of the finest men to ever step into a professional wrestling ring, Sebastian Dark.
You're a freaking liar.
Yeah, but I'm lying on behalf of you.
Leapfrog by Vegas, swinging and miss Gregory, sending him through, and Vegas takes him down with the shoulder block. These guys with a different style, different body type, but they're very similar in a lot of ways. Crisscross.
Keep in mind that Jimmy Vegas did recruit Dirk Ziggler to help him in his war with Denny Gregory and Bubba the Bulldog, as you see Gregory go for the classic eye poke. But Ziggler was taken out thanks to Bubba and Gregory and a spike pile driver on the outside. And you have to wonder, where is Bubba right now? He caused all this dissension. He caused this disintegration. He's the reason this match is happening and these guys don't see eye to eye, and he's nowhere to be found.
Why should he be here?
It all comes back to that cage match. He was the one who got pinned, but yet he started sowing dissension and spreading the blame everywhere else.
Hey.
Sounds like one of those reality shows that I like to watch.
Don't pass off what Sebastian said. He's got a good point. Why should he be here? Bubba's already apparently he's sown his seeds.
He's the leader. He doesn't need to be here for this.
Boston Crab cinched in very well.
Keep in mind the tremendous wars these two have had at each other. Big Butler Fair 2003. All the times they've changed hands in the IWC heavyweight title picture. These men have... Jimmy Vegas is probably Dennis Gregory's top rival here in his IWC career. A very fitting way to go out.
Where's he going?
Going to Iraq.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
he's actually you got to give it up for him. He's doing his duty as you know, and I'm you can't see me making quotes in the air, but he's doing his duty as an American. He's going to serve his country.
This coming from a Canadian.
Well,
Part French.
I'm not here to say
He was actually speaking French on the air a little earlier. Mais oui.
May we? Yeah.
French toast.
Back to action. We have a front face lock by Dennis Gregory here as action continues in the ring regardless of what 2 or 3/4 of this broadcast team seem to think.
One more time.
Powers Gregory into the corner.
He told Vegas, don't do that again, and Vegas did it again. He bowled him right into the corner.
Well, you see, Vegas is too stupid to listen to simple instructions.
He is a meathead.
Whoa! Belly to belly suplex by Vegas. One of his
Huge.
special moves.
Huge belly to belly.
And this is
Almost
Vegas'
overhand.
chance. Vegas' chance to come around here with Bubba the Bulldog not in attendance. This is a rare chance for Vegas to get at one of them one-on-one. Bubba operates well in numbers. He likes it when it's 2-on-1, 3-on-1. Very rarely is it 1-on-1, and that's Vegas' opportunity right now.
Well, you talked about title shots, Sebastian Dark. The talent pool here is so deep. Of course, if Vegas can get a victory, he certainly would be in line for a shot at a third IWC title. But I got to give you credit. I think you are in line for a title shot.
Yeah, Norm's not going to give me one.
And you're right. I don't think he's
He's
going to give
moving
you
to Reading.
We got a Cobra clutch in the ring by Dennis Gregory, if anybody seems to care anymore, as all the energy is being sapped out of Jimmy Vegas. Referee CJ Sensation, perfect positioning to see if Vegas is going to submit.
We're
Jimmy
gonna see.
Vegas is going bye-bye, kids.
Gregory's wrestled a very, very smart match, wearing him down throughout. We'll see if we can put him away, but I think Vegas has still got a little bit left.
You know, Jeff, you bring up title shots again.
Yeah.
And there was one promotion I became heavyweight champion in, and they named the next show Reign of Terror very fittingly. Can you imagine if they gave me a belt in this company, what kind of Reign of Terror it would be?
That would be pretty scary.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it? It'd be
Vegas
great.
out of the Cobra clutch, hooks him up, comes in right behind, and he hooks it again.
And you use the word Joe, Jeff, whatever your name is. The one with the glasses? Oh, you're both.
That's
Jeez.
Joey.
Don't call me Joey. I've worked hard to get over that stigma.
Both men down in the ring.
Sebastian, you don't know what it's like to do commentary with these guys. It's me and 8 Eyes every show.
Hey,
So you should see all the action.
You use the word smart to describe Dennis Gregory. I've used it. He is one of the smartest professional wrestlers on the planet.
that's right. He's going back to the Cobra clutch again, doing a great job.
Sort of a tribute
Wear
to
'em out.
Sergeant Slaughter with that Cobra Clutch, another fighting American of years gone by.
Getting the
Extra
weight
leverage
on
now,
the
jumping
back.
on the back.
If you recall, Sergeant Slaughter turned his back on this country, Joe.
And he joined forces with Iraq, actually, if you recall.
It's only for a year or so.
Yeah, you were like 4.
CJ checking on both these guys in the middle of the floor. Gregory unable to put Vegas away. He's tried that Cobra Clutch many times, but Vegas has still got something left.
Well, Vegas has been remotivated ever since leaving Bubba the Bulldog. He's not going to go down without a fight either. Jimmy Vegas does want an IWC title shot. He wants to make history and be the first 3-time heavyweight champion we have. But to do that, he has to get through his past demons, and that does include Gregory and Bubba.
Well, of course he wants an IWC title shot. If you're in IWC, oh my God!
Suicide dive over the top rope by Denny Gregory.
When did Dennis Gregory grow wings?
I heard he trained in Mexico for a week.
Oh my God.
Well, the first thing he learned was the suicide toe.
I am speechless.
In all the years you've known Dennis Gregory, have you ever seen him do that, Jeff?
I feel like I've seen a million of his matches in a million different promotions, and I've never seen him do that, ever.
Really, a million?
Something like a million, maybe 2.
Gregory pulling out all the stops to make sure he goes out of his IWC career, out of this country on top.
Well, this would be the time to pull out all the stops.
Yep, slingshot leg drop, that could be it. Here we go. 2. No, Vegas kicked out again. We might have to see Lucha Gregory again if he's going to get the win over
Lucha
Vegas.
Denny. Denso Pocus. That's his Mexican.
Vegas trying to keep himself in this match. He's taking quite a pounding. Reversal. Hooks him up. And nails him with the one-arm bandit. In stereo.
They had that on an index card.
They were
No.
waiting.
Near fall
only
situation.
2.
Vegas carrying around more body weight. The longer this match goes, the more it does favor Denny Gregory. Smart move by him to attempt to put in moves like the Cobra Clutch, draw out this match, draw out Jimmy Vegas's stamina. Irish whip now.
Swing and a miss. Gregory ducks underneath and there's the super kick.
Right in the forehead.
And that is going to be 2 and... No. Vegas kicks out.
And give credit to Jimmy Vegas. He's not laying down easy for Denny Gregory, despite what Denny Gregory's moving on to. Jimmy Vegas has his own intentions in mind.
What kind of cigarette are you smoking that you would think Jimmy Vegas would ever lay down easily?
I didn't. That's the point I was making.
Well, just because Denny Gregory is leaving for Iraq doesn't mean he's any less fierce an opponent, and doesn't mean... Oh,
Cha-ching slam.
is that enough?
That's his signature. He's won 2 titles without him.
No. He kicked out of the cha-ching slam.
Well, before Gregory goes to fight for his country, he's going to have the fight of his life here to win this match.
And he's somehow still in it. He's taken both of Vegas's big moves, and he's still in this match. Somehow, someone's got to win this thing.
This is Gregory's Super Bowl. There's no tomorrow for Gregory.
That's right.
Winning or losing this match doesn't get him a title shot. He's going to Iraq. For Vegas, there's a tomorrow.
Dude, I've won every match I've had so far, and I haven't had a shot.
Will you stop talking about you?
It's all about me.
Give me a break.
Jawbreaker. Vegas goes down, but Gregory's really in no position to follow up.
It's all about me. Just remember that, Joe.
Here comes Gregory. Out to the apron. Snaps Vegas on the top. But can he follow up? Both these guys have taken so much out of each other.
Sternum on the top rope, all of Gregory's body weight pulling him down, knocking the air out of Vegas. He's already in a dazed condition. And now Gregory's gonna fly again. We were waiting for it.
Here we go.
Another high-risk maneuver. Is it going to pay off for a second time?
Whoa! He caught him with the elbow off the top. You can tell it didn't look great because he's not used to doing it, but he got the impact that he wanted.
Fatigue definitely setting in on Denny Gregory, but he drove that elbow right into the heart and now mounting the opposite turnbuckle.
Going to the top again.
I can't believe this.
I've never seen Gregory go to the top twice in a match.
And now 3 times.
Big splash.
That's gotta be it.
I'll
Here we
give
go.
props to Dennis Gregory on that one.
No,
Another
Vegas kicked
near
out again.
fall. That extra few seconds it took to roll Jimmy Vegas over onto both shoulders cost Dennis Gregory this match.
Both guys are just refusing to lose this match.
One-arm bandit
There it
for
is.
a second time.
He got
Gregory
it.
dazed and confused, up on his feet via instinct.
Cha-ching slam number 2. Hit both his finishers
Game
again
over.
in a
Game
row.
over.
And
Is
I
this
think you're
gonna be
right.
enough?
Yes, it is.
I shall return.
All right, take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner,
Well, with the exception of this segment being marred by Sebastian Dark's appearance, this has been a tremendous match for Dennis Gregory and a great send-off against his top rival in what I have to consider one of the greatest IWC matches he has ever had.
Would you rather have both Mahoney on commentary?
Or New Jack?
I would love New Jack.
Vegas has a stick.
Yeah, Jay. How many times have we battled this IWC? About 3,000. Tonight, I'm glad we did it one more time.
It's audio, go ahead. Go walk in front of my sound.
I know we've been seeing eye to eye all the time, but it's one thing, I respect you a lot in the ring. I respect what you're doing for us in the country. Protect our freedom.
Oh my God, at ringside, that's Drew Lazario.
Hot
Right
shot
there.
from Lazario right here.
Drew Lazario, the longtime manager and confidant of Dennis Gregory for so many years.
And I'm really glad that Drew could be here for this. He deserves it after what a great team those two have been.
I can't believe I'm seeing Drew Lazario in an IWC ring again.
Me neither.
I can't think of a more perfect send-off.
I wasn't the only one that's doing this for the world.
The fans showing their appreciation for everything Denny Gregory has done in the ring for them. Love him or hate him, they respect him.
And despite all the professional animosity in recent months, a great moment between Vegas and Dennis Gregory showing of respect.
You know, a few years ago when the Pope came to this country, you know, JP the Tube, he said some words we can all live by. He said that America is
Long-time manager.
It gives you the freedom not to do what you want. It gives you the freedom to do what you ought. And in a few weeks here, I'm not going to be doing what I want, which is standing up with my 4-year-old boy and raising him to be a man. I'll be doing what I ought, which is protecting the freedom he deserves to grow up with. One of my many catchphrases
get this stopped here. Dean Radford and Glenn Spectre attacked. It's still intermission. Eric Ecstasy, Troy Lords, and J-Rocc assaulting Radford and Spectre. The show isn't even started yet. This is not the way it's supposed to go down. Promoter Norm Connors has to put a stop to this. The show is not even happening right now. They're trying to take out their opponents before the match even happens. Norm Connors dragging referee Stephen Coulter to the ring area. And this match is officially underway. It's Eric Ecstasy and Bulls Hot Troy Lords 2-on-2 tag team encounter. Looking fun at J-Rocc for losing to Jeff Jarrett on a recent episode of TNA Impact. And this tag team matchup is underway. And my broadcast colleagues aren't even out here yet. Joe Dombrowski, soon to be joined by the distinguished Anthony Kingdom James, as well as Jeff Gorman, who's right now making lovey-lovey with his daughter.
Well, I think this caught everybody off guard. Glenn Spectre is getting members of the audience to hold Eric Ecstasy while he throws in the chops.
Intermission did not even end before this attack started. It was disgusting. It was unprovoked. We had no idea this was happening. We are very, very out of order here. We apologize for that.
What's going on?
Now the fans are clearing as this tag team matchup has started. Scheduled for later in the show, it started now in Prop 2 as Ecstasy takes out about 3 rows of steel chairs. My God, what an assault here as Jeff Gorman finally joins us here for commentary. I know you as well as I had no idea what was going on.
I know. I was just bringing the baby back to the babysitters who were kind of helping us watch her, and the fight happened, and then the second part of the show happened. I mean,
I was
Graceland, my
talking
little girl,
back.
is right here. Say hi, Graceland. You say hi? Okay. She said, Daddy. Go ahead.
I was talking to Shirley Doe about his upcoming title shot tonight. All of a sudden, I hear this match is going to start now, and a fight is on.
Well, obviously what the Velvet Mafia was trying to do was try to injure their opponents before the scheduled match later in the night.
No doubt about that. Remember, that's what Ecstasy's been trying to do with Radford. He's been trying to keep him away from Eric Ecstasy and trying to make his Velvet Mafia cronies take him out. Look at Spectre.
Through the ropes, Spectre.
Well, there is a referee in the ring, Jeff. I think this is a match.
Well, yeah, now it is, because remember, Norm Connors dragged him into the ring and said start the match.
This match has officially started. The bell has been sounded.
Well, now we're just hearing the bell. Look out,
All
Radford.
sorts of chaos here. Look at the strength. Troy Lords caught up on his shoulder.
Out!
Oh my God! Vaulted over the top rope.
Powerbomb into a moonsault.
And the fans responding, IWC. This match wasn't even supposed to happen right now.
It's scheduled for later, but it's damn sure happening now. And Dean Radford, more motivated than ever, in better shape than ever when it comes to taking out the Velvet Mafia cronies. What is Radford doing on the top rope?
Since when does Radford fly?
Crossbody takes out all 3 guys. Unbelievable agility by Radford.
Well, we knew this was going to be a grudge match, but we didn't realize it would literally get off to such a flying start.
And what an unbelievable way to kick off our second third of IWC A Call to Arms 2.
Hey, this isn't a match anymore. This is a train wreck.
Well, we got Lords back in the ring, Radford pummeling him.
And this will be a very interesting exchange. Keep in mind, this is Troy Lords' first match in over 8 months here at IWC. Yeah, you have to wonder what kind of condition he's in and if there's any ring rust at all.
Well, he looks like he's in good condition, Joe, but you're right, ring rust might be a factor. He just took the shining asteroid, actually the running asteroid, right in the face by both his opponents.
And look at the tag team cohesion of Spectre and Radford. Forced to compete as a team so they would not be individually destroyed by the numbers game of the Velvet Mafia. And they're working very, very well together despite being polar opposites.
He's got his own partner ready to drop onto Troy Lords. Spectre goes to the pin and gets 2.
Remember, Spectre was kicked out of the Velvet Mafia last month at Accept No Limitations.
And why was he kicked out of the Velvet Mafia?
Because Ecstasy thought Spectre actually lived that ulterior lifestyle while Ecstasy just used it for mind games.
Now he's got his partner again.
Jockeying for positioning.
Spectre taking the opportunity. He kissed him.
He kissed his own partner. And Radford says cut that out.
I don't think that was up Radford's sleeve as part of the game plan. And now look at this. Very interesting. It seems this match is morphed into a 3-on-2 handicap match with J-Rocc on the apron as well.
Wow. So it is the all three members of the Velvet Mafia part of the actual match. Well, again, at least you don't have to worry about J-Rocc interfering from the outside. He's got to tag himself in like a normal competitor.
And there's a hard shot to the ribs by Ecstasy on his former very close friend and partner, Glenn Spectre, as the tag is now into the Big Daddy of Destruction, J-Rocc, the man who wrestled NWA World Heavyweight Champion Jeff Jarrett on Fox Sports Next a few weeks ago.
And Norm Connors kind of insulted how he did in that match. But you got to give him credit. He got to wrestle Jeff Jarrett on a national television show.
It shows how highly the TNA officials think of J-Rocc.
We're proud of J-Rocc. That was pretty cool. Big chop on Glenn Spectre. Now this match has kind of settled down, but again, it's a 2-on-3 situation.
And if you take a look, Glenn Spectre's decided to wear something new and frilly for us.
We had some sort of a Village People gimmick thing going there for a while. And he says, who's the man?
Glenn Spectre with those hard strikes gains the advantage.
Uh-oh, J-Rocc caught him. Spectre able to squirm out, swing and a miss. J-Rocc from behind with a back suplex.
Folding Glenn Spectre up like a cheap suit.
Only two from referee Scott Coulter. Into Ecstasy's boot, and he's going to tag Troy Lords. We're going to see how well the Velvet Mafia uses that one-man advantage.
Well, look at this, distracting Radford, baiting him in, taking advantage of his short temper, allowing the 3-on-1 triple teaming by the Velvet Mafia. And those hard forearm shots, remember before Troy Lords left, he was involved in an intense feud with Glenn Spectre that never really had a resolution.
Right now we see Lords go over the pin, and a 2 count.
The transformation of Glenn Spectre over the years, the last few years, is just incredible. I mean, from the time I met him when he was a fat kid wearing a mask, to look at him now in incredible physical shape. He's made a temple of his body. The change in the personality. Oh, backbreaker.
Flip onto the knees.
Into the knees. Very, very good from Troy Lords. But the transformation of Glenn Spectre, both in his physicality and his personality, just overwhelming. And along the way, Glenn Spectre has improved as a professional wrestler, leaps and bounds, something that no matter what you think of his personality,
overhead.
You have to respect that. You have to respect his wrestling ability.
You've got to. It's like he comes out, he looks weirder and weirder, but he gets better and better in that ring. And Spectre looking for a tag. No. Lords puts a stop to that.
Smart tag team wrestling by Troy Lords, grabbing the leg.
Nobody there on Nanzagiri. Caught him with a diamond cutter out of nowhere.
Brings a whole new meaning to the term, feel the bang.
Very good, Joe.
Oh, man. I thought I was the one who was supposed to say stuff like that. Good. That was good, Joe.
Hey, that's his lifestyle. Can't deny it, whether you like it or you hate it. You gotta respect him.
So what are you saying about DDP? There's a tag.
Oh, this is the matchup we want to see. Radford and Ecstasy. This all started at a Call to Arms 1 last December.
Right to the eyes, and now they're going out of here.
When Ecstasy was injured by Radford, then on the comeback, Ecstasy screwed Radford out of the title and put him out of action. This is what we've been waiting for a year to see.
It's certainly not the matchup that Eric Ecstasy wants to see.
And he caught J-Rocc coming in. Leaping DDT.
Now Troy Lords.
Over now.
Look out for Ecstasy.
Good move by Ecstasy. Again, the numbers game for the Velvet Mafia came into play.
Ecstasy able to sneak up and hit the sidewalk slam, and now has the advantage over the man he screwed out of the IWC Championship last May. Oh my God!
Spine buster by Dean Radford.
No matter how great condition Dean Radford is, no matter how much he trims down, he does not lose any bit of that power.
That's right. Radford has actually gotten better since his injury. You can't say that about many people, but he has worked so hard to come back.
Well, both these men are in the best shape of their lives.
Radicator,
a great matchup. Troy Lords from behind.
Lords is having none of it.
And a big suplex by Lords.
Look at that use of leverage by Troy Lords to get the huge Dean Radford over his shoulders, but Glenn Spectre in from behind.
Lords doesn't see what's behind him. He got caught. And Spectre takes out the leg. Here it comes. This shining asteroid. And two and no, I thought those three.
Not enough to put away Troy Lawrence.
You can definitely see the Japanese influence in Glenn Spectre's ring technique.
He won titles over there too, as we've mentioned a few times. Irish whip, here comes Spectre. Lawrence caught him. And Lawrence has him. Tornado DDT blocked, and now Lawrence is perched on top.
Counter for counter. Keep in mind how well both these men know each other. Ecstasy from behind.
Look out. Ecstasy caught him. This could be painful. Sunset flipping his partner to take Spectre down in a suplex, but Radford's going up.
The huge man on top.
Oh!
Elbow drop to the chest.
And now J-Rocc's on top.
Frog splash, but he hit his own man.
That's right.
Huge miscalculation by J-Rocc, putting his team in jeopardy.
Tilt-a-whirl power slam takes out Troy Lawrence.
And now we're back to Radford and Ecstasy, the match we want to see. Can
Here
he
it
get him
is.
up? Can he finish the move?
I think he can. Radicator!
12 months in the making. Radford takes down Ecstasy.
He got him!
Ever since May 8th of this year at Super Indy 3, Radford has wanted nothing more than to eradicate Eric Ecstasy and make up for that championship screw job suffered at that event. Radford has finally done it, but look at who's right by his side. Glenn Spectre, the Wonderman himself.
And the Wonderman dancing to Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive.
And Ecstasy is humiliated. Not only was he defeated by the man he put out of wrestling 6 months ago,
Looks like the rest of the Velvet Mafia has some explaining to do.
he was also defeated by his former very close partner, Spectre. And Ecstasy is not happy with either J-Rocc or his longtime associate, Balls Hot Taylor.
Just gotta wonder, we had a 3-on-2 advantage, and we still lost.
Well, Ecstasy took the fall. He has no one to blame but himself.
Wait a minute. J-Rocc is walking off.
The problems with Radford and Spectre all go back to Ecstasy and no one else.
You think he has no one to blame, but he's got J-Rocc and Troy Lawrence near him. He's got plenty of people to blame if he wants to.
And Lawrence is walking out too. Ecstasy's all alone with his two top rivals. And look at the look on Radford's face. He's gonna enjoy this.
Oh, he couldn't get away. The Velvet Mafia is not helping. Down goes Ecstasy.
J-Rocc and Lawrence turning around, looking at what's going on, and they don't seem to care. Oh my God.
Happy birthday, Eric Ecstasy. It is his birthday, right? Why would they be spanking him otherwise?
This is really not a Sesame Street counting lesson.
Oh my God, no! Well, I can't say I agree with it, but I can't say Eric Ecstasy didn't have it coming to him.
Dean Radford and Glenn Spectre overcoming the odds, overcoming the numbers. They've beaten the Velvet Mafia 2-on-3, and now the future is looking very good for both Dean Radford and Glenn Spectre.
But will the Velvet Mafia self-destruct after this loss?
We're ready to go here in the IWC. We've got AJ Styles and CM Punk. This is the kind of match that makes me happy to work in the IWC. With talent like this, Jeff Gorman along with Joe Dombrowski and Keenan James.
Hello, folks. On paper, coming into this show on paper, this is a match of the year candidate.
And these two have shown their ability to deliver in the ring many, many times in many, many different promotions, including right here. Thinking about the matches AJ had with Homicide here earlier this year, those were some great ones.
And these are a couple of returns to IWC. Haven't seen AJ since that Homicide series. We haven't seen CM Punk since Harrisburg, when Punk was defeated by Sterling James Keenan, and as a result of a stipulation, Punk had to become Sterling's tag team partner. Punk disappeared after that match. We haven't seen him since. It'll be very interesting to see what, if any, involvement Sterling has on this and future CM Punk IWC matches.
That's right. Hopefully this will stay one-on-one. But those two had a little success when they were affiliated with each other. We got to give them that.
But Punk has been trying to do so much to branch out on his own. Dumping Sterling James Keenan, diving off the top of that cage, the great matches he's had with Chris Hero. I don't think CM Punk wants to go back with Sterling. I think he considers it a step backwards.
Punk with the headlock here on the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Joe taking any opportunity he can to Sterling bash. Just sickening once again, Joe.
Punk with a backflip. Here comes Styles. Punk with a leapfrog. And a handstand by Styles. Hooks him up, possibly for a Styles clash, but Punk saw it coming.
I'm not bashing anybody. I'm stating fact, and the fact is CM Punk didn't want to be around Sterling James Keenan anymore. That's why Sterling made that stipulation to try to lure Punk back into helping him with his matches.
Look, the fact is that we're about to see one of the best matches of the year in IWC. And if you could get off your Sterling fixation long enough to join us here on planet Earth.
All right, well, back to the action.
More specifically here in Wilmerding, Pennsylvania, we're at the YMCA. And the fans getting behind CM Punk.
Well, I think what you're gonna find, Jeff, is that early on when the chants started going against each other, there are a lot of female voices chanting for AJ and a lot of male voices chanting for Punk, and that bass is just gonna drown out the treble.
That's right, and it does seem to be kind of split along gender lines, as you said, although Styles has always been one of the most popular guys here in IWC. And Punk trying to fight his way out of this here.
And what a more perfect time for this match.
Be here.
That's right, it brings everybody's game up as Punk puts on the brakes and catches Styles with an elbow to the jaw. Leapfrog by Styles showing off that agility. One more time with a drop kick.
Picture perfect, and you talk about their IWC accomplishments. Quick kick out by Punk. Styles, a two-time former Super Indy champion here at IWC. The only man to pull that one off. Punk, a former IWC heavyweight champion.
Big backbreaker by Styles. So the pace of this match starting to quicken a little bit, and a 2 count. AJ moving in right now.
Styles also a Triple Crown winner in TNA twice. He won the X Division title twice, the tag title twice, the world title twice. Recently been training as well for a match with Petey Williams for that X Division title the other month. So AJ Styles, tip-top physical shape, but you have to say the same for CM Punk.
And Styles continuing to work on Punk here. And went for a suplex, but Punk able to block it. Punk a little bit taller, but wow! I thought he was going to avoid that suplex, but he certainly didn't. You can have very, very good competition here at IWC that can go 6 months or so without a title shot, and it's not because they're in a slump, there's just other people here.
That's the prestige and the meaning of our IWC titles as Punk hits the outside.
Out to the floor, AJ Styles coming over with a pescado, getting full extension.
Punk went down
Several times during this match, and now Punk on the defensive.
Something of my own I want to elaborate on. We've said
Oh, neck breaker in the ropes, yes?
right onto that middle steel cable. We've mentioned often about oxygen getting to the muscles, taking away strength advantages, taking away the longevity of the match. We don't often mention the fact that if air doesn't get to your brain, that's, you know, the whole factory is going to shut down. You need to be able to think. You need to be able to keep the machine running. You need to be able to come up with a new game plan. And right now, Punk has had time to get a little oxygen to that brain. He's taking advantage of this match once again.
And Snapmare takes over Styles, and a sharp drop kick right to the back of the head.
And right now we see CM Punk going for a lateral crash near fall. We see CM Punk grounding AJ Styles, keeping AJ Styles on the mat because AJ is a lot more privy to fly than CM Punk.
Well, the feeling out stage of this match is definitely done, Joe. They are well into the thick of it. Punk knows what Styles has got in mind now. He took him to the outside and followed him up. Punk is going to keep Styles grounded.
Styles reaching the ropes to avoid that submission hold. We should mention CM Punk, this has been a huge year for him. His his epic battles with Samoa Joe and for the Ring of Honor title. Of course, knocking Chris Daniels out of Ring of Honor at the beginning of this year at the Battle Lines Are Drawn. And also we should mention this is when his students have made a debut in Ring of Honor and several other promotions. This is a year that CM Punk has gone from being a great wrestler to being a leader. And stomping right down on the back of AJ Styles. He would love to get momentum heading into 2005 with a win over Styles.
Well, he's definitely made his mark with the fans. And as you said, Jeff, he's really making a huge mark now within the industry itself.
And then Styles with a sunset flip and 2. Punk right back down with a spear, and he just takes control one more time.
It's very much, there we go, dropping the elbow. It's very much a ground.
Attempt to come back.
Oh, no doubt that endurance will not play a part in this match. Both men can go as long as humanly possible. AJ counters out of that chin lock with a jawbreaker. Now back up to the vertical base.
Swing and a miss. Styles and Punk both going for body blocks, and both men go down. So whoever wins the Super Indy match, which is coming up, will probably have to deal with the winner and or the loser of this, because as we've seen many times, the Super Indy division is just about as strong as the IWC title. It's not a secondary title at all.
Nowhere near a secondary title, just a different branch of competition. IWC title represents the best regular competitor. Super Indy title incorporates part-time workers from all over the world.
Trading stiff forearms to the jaw now.
Back and forth here. Both these guys trying to get an advantage, and now Styles hanging on to Punk and laying in several shots.
Listen to the sound of it.
Man, oh man, about 10 in a row. And Zagiri, nobody there. Punk from behind, and AJ blocks the suplex. Battling out with the standing switch, and now Punk looking for an escape.
Punk may know where he is in the ring, but I think he may have forgotten his bank card's PIN number on that last exchange. Oh!
Nice suplex there.
Compression of the spine.
Almost an inverted power slam takes Punk right down in his head and a kick out.
That was a little bit like Shawn Michaels' old finisher, the teardrop suplex, coming up through and then just dumping him with all his weight on the back.
And we talk about AJ Styles, whoever wins this matchup, perhaps getting a future championship shot. We know AJ Styles will be back February 25th and 26th for a huge weekend of live events then.
That's right, we'll be here in Wilmerding on the 25th of February and the 26th in Erie, I think it is, right?
You have that backwards, but AJ with the Northern Lights and a bridge. February 25th at Cawley Auditorium in Erie. February 26th back in Wilmerding. Whoever wins this matchup, you gotta believe they're gonna be fighting to get on that show to get a Super Indy title shot.
That's gonna be a huge weekend in the IWC. We're looking forward to it. Last weekend in February. Here comes AJ, right into the boot of CM Punk. Swing and a miss, Styles springs off, but Punk caught him.
Going for the phenomenon of Punk, caught him in midair and drilled him with that backbreaker, keeping all the offense focused. We gotta cover.
Good counter wrestling by both men, but Punk very upset that he's unable to get the 3 count.
Have you ever seen anyone catch AJ Styles midair like that before?
No, I don't think I have, Joe.
Punk has that very, very well scouted to be positioned in just the right place to catch the weight of AJ Styles.
And now we're hearing from the fans of AJ Styles trying to rally their man to victory, but Punk on top.
Well, both of these men are very well loved by IWC. Candidates for Most Popular Wrestler of the Year, in which case we remind you to log on to IWCWrestling.com and cast your votes throughout the month of December for the year-end awards. Hurricane Rana by Punk. Styles tried to counter the clash, but Punk escapes.
Here we go, Styles clash. Countered. Hooked him up.
Oh!
With a double lock DDT, takes down AJ Styles, and both men are down.
Making Jake Roberts proud somewhere, driving him onto his head.
No!
What a near fall.
AJ kicking out at the last moment.
Once again, Bruce Gray happy to tell us 2 and that close.
Punk trying to get himself together for a final rally here. Styles slow to get up. Winding up Styles right now, caught him with a mule kick. Floats over and caught him with another one right to the jaw. Interesting offense by Punk. Whoa!
There's the Pele.
Right to the external occipital protuberance.
Very good, Gorilla. Nice move out of nowhere, and that's how AJ Styles loves to strike.
And again, we're at a stalemate. Both men down, both men thinking ahead to future moves. Both men trying to get more oxygen back in those lungs. Styles with the Pele, and he's back up to his knees first. He's got it covered. Is this going to be enough to beat Punk?
And two. This has been one of the most even matches you've seen. Neither man is getting an advantage of more than a minute top.
Something I was thinking about asking both of you, have you ever seen a more evenly matched, intense match in IWC?
Hurricane Rana, I can't really think of one where, you know, neither man gets a sustained advantage, Kingdom. AJ stepping in. Round we go, but Punk counters the Tornado DDT.
Shucks him.
The exception of the memorable Punk Hero feud. This is the closest I've seen anyone challenging this evenly.
Right through to a sunset flip in 3.
Where did that come from?
Well, Punk was actually going for the Shining Wizard, but Styles caught him and rolled him through.
The winner of this contest, the phenomenal AJ Styles.
A series of counter moves and counter moves ends with AJ knowing where exactly the leverage of the move is and able to hold down CM Punk for the 3 count.
Well, it was an attempted Shining Wizard into a catch. Into out of nowhere, an impromptu attempt at a Frankenstein or a Hurricane Rana into a roll through and a sunset flip, a pinning combination by AJ Styles, and the 3 count.
I know, it was almost hard to follow. It was just so quick, like boom, 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 and suddenly the match was over.
AJ hasn't left the ring, neither is Punk, showing the respect by both men after a tremendous match.
And the fans cheering for both guys, an outstanding match. AJ Styles, again, proving almost impossible to beat, gets the win over CM Punk. Wait a minute! We're about to start a... Oh, here comes Keenan again.
The alleged Super Indy Killer is out here to interrupt our 3-way dance for the vacant Super Indy Championship.
I may not have been voted into this match, but consider this my RSVP. It appears I have 3 Super Indies in the ring, and lucky for me, I just so happen to be the Super Indy Killer. Now, ref, I pulled some strings in the back. You can consider me the 4th man and the future Super Indy champion.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, Sterling James Keenan has just inserted himself into this match, whether Fabulous, Petey Williams, Josh Prohibition, or Norm Connors like it or not.
Well, he was throwing his weight around in the back, I guess, and he somehow got himself this title shot, maybe just to shut him up.
That could very well be it. Sterling James Keenan, very overbearing, but it's an interesting dynamic added to this 4-way dance. Current NWA TNA X Division champion, reigning champion of that promotion for 4 months now, Petey Williams. What a feather in his cap it would be if he could have 2 championships with such prestige.
That would be something else. And of course, there was supposed to be all 3 guys in the ring at the same time. Now it's going to be 2 in the ring and 2 on the apron waiting for a tag. We're going to start with Petey Williams and Josh Prohibition, who will have a new Super Indy champion by the end of this match.
Let's not forget about Prohibition, a former IWC Tag Team champion alongside M-Dog 20, Matt Cross. Prohibition has been looking to get back into the title hunt here in IWC as well, and has sort of refocused himself to more of a singles match.
Now, Joe, Josh Prohibition was voted tonight to be the opponent of Petey Williams. My question for you, Joe, is how many times did you vote? Please round it off to the nearest 1,000.
I didn't vote at all. The rumor I heard was Josh Prohibition was voting for himself on IWCWrestling.com, but those are unfounded. And be that as it may, Prohibition in control of Petey Williams right now. But we cannot forget, interesting snapmare by Williams, fabulous John McChesney, who is the #1 contender for the Super Indy title officially.
What about the rumor that you programmed a virus that let Josh Prohibition vote for himself as many times as he wanted? Joe.
You've got some pull with the website people, Joe. Big suplex. by Petey Williams, rolls right through, and you got to be proud of your fellow Canadian Kingdom. Petey Williams has really broken out as a great star.
This match is incredibly hard for me to pick a favorite in. You've got the master of the Canadian Destroyer, Petey Williams. Gotta love a countryman. And I know his pedigree coming out of Border City Wrestling with Scott D'Amore. Scott D'Amore, the guy who helped me get into the American wrestling scene.
Big dropkick by fabulous John McChesney on Prohibition and the 2 count.
You got fabulous John McChesney, Erie's hometown hero, the last heavyweight champion of the Union of Independent Professional Wrestlers, which everybody knows I hold dear to my heart.
Yes, you do.
And that, as far as I'm concerned, John McChesney is the future of professional wrestling. You got Josh Prohibition,
Turn him loose with that Northern Lights, yes.
who I first was able to meet in XPW when he and M-Dog 20 came in, blew the crowd away, and blew away Mexico's Most Wanted to become World Tag Team Champions in their very first appearance. An incredible professional wrestler.
Sobriety test by Josh Prohibition.
And last but not least, tagging his way into the ring, you have Sterling James Keenan, a man who has more charisma and more talent than anybody that Joe Dombrowski could name, whether he likes him or not.
And this is a guy who really gets under people's skin. You really develop an opinion about him one way or the other. I've never seen a wrestler in the IWC that's gotten more positive comments from you, Kingdom, and more negative comments from you, Joe.
And there's no coincidence that it's nothing I have against Sterling James Keenan. That's just the way things are.
Yeah, it's just your jealousy.
Don't forget Sterling James Keenan did defeat McChesney last month at Youth Gone Wild. He has that one riding for him. And with the exception of a loss to Spider-Nate Webb last month, Keenan has been undefeated for several months.
Here we got a tag to Josh Prohibition. It looks like they're going to do a little double teaming on Fabulous. Now, what you have to realize is Fabulous in this match, because he came within an eyelash of beating Chris Sabin at our last show here. Of course, Sabin injured, unable to defend the title, but Fabulous had originally had a match scheduled against Sabin for the title. Here tonight, it was supposed to be 2 out of 3 falls.
Chris Sabin was injured at TNA's Turning Point pay-per-view recently in a match with Petey Williams.
Whoa, big
Josh
clothesline.
Prohibition, what a clothesline. Takes down McChesney. So the odds not in McChesney's favor, but he still kicks out of that Josh Prohibition cover.
Well, that's the difference. That's the thing about John McChesney at this point. He has come an eyelash, and literally, well, as literally as figuratively can get,
Falcon Arrow by Prohibition and a 2 count.
an eyelash away from beating a number of huge names in professional wrestling. The IWC Super Indy title and Tag Team titles have almost been in his grasp. The list of names that he has wrestled and impressed against is long already.
Whoa, what a shot by Fabulous.
John McChesney needs the one win that takes him from well-thought-of contender and up-and-comer to Super Indy, and this might well be it, if he can survive the onslaught of Sterling James Keenan.
2 power bombs in a row by Keenan. That's something different from him.
What an incredible show of strength by Sterling. You've seen him bulk up in recent months, showing that strength to an advantage. Look out, double team time.
Countered nicely into a double DDT by Fabulous.
And this is what people say about Fabulous. Resiliency. He, like an old Timex watch, he takes a licking and he keeps on ticking.
Now remember, this is an elimination match, so somebody gets pinned, the match keeps going. You know who you gotta feel sorry for is Chris Sabin. He is actually here in the crowd. I don't know if you've seen him, but he's gotta sit here and watch 4 guys fight for the title that he never lost in the ring.
Well,
Petey Williams in.
big mistake by Petey Williams as far as I'm concerned to tag himself in right now. McChesney was the most beaten down of the 3 men in the ring at that moment. He could have waited until somebody eliminated McChesney and then gotten into the ring himself.
Very quick neck breaker. Petey Williams gets 2. Here comes Keenan, unannounced, and he gets nailed for his trouble. Caught a jawbreaker with the knees from Petey, the NWA X Division champion. Now we go, and he gets planted face first by Keenan. 2 count.
Well, referee CJ Sensation seems to be allowing a modicum of Mexican tag team rules in this match.
Oh, jeez.
Well, with the stakes on the line here, why even try to keep control? With what's in my... Oh, Sterling flies.
Nobody home on that twisting Pescado, and now Fabulous tries a Pescado of his own, and it hit. Meanwhile, Prohibition yanks Petey off the ropes.
But Petey flips something out of it.
Hooks him up for a nice suplex.
Oh, it's time to start reeling him in, it looks like. Setting up for that flip pile driver, the Canadian Destroyer. He's reeling in Josh Prohibition, and Josh has no idea what's coming.
And that move is really the breakout cool new move of 2004. Here it comes.
Josh counters the back body drop.
Folks, Prohibition has a very impressive pile driver of his own.
Drunken driver.
Driver, no.
Petey with a counter.
Heels to the front of the head.
Back in the Destroyer position.
There it is. Prohibition got nailed.
He is out of here.
There goes Josh.
That, my friends, is the science textbook definition of centrifugal force.
Great use of leverage and momentum and strength by Petey Williams to propel himself over Josh and drop him right in his head, but he's got a whole new world of problems. Sterling James Keenan gives him no time to rest.
Keenan very opportunistic, going after Petey, who just scored the victory over Josh Prohibition. And we are down to 3. Helter Skelter coming up.
Has a 5 count to break it, but keep in mind the mission Sterling's been on for the past 3 or 4 months. He's tried to rid IWC of all the Super Indies. What a better way to accomplish that goal than to capture their very own championship.
That's right. He's been on such a tear. He was able to beat everybody but, as you mentioned, Spider Nate Webb. And he kind of has to win this match if he wants to keep calling himself the Super Indy Killer.
Well, it kind of reminds me of when I was a kid buying hockey cards in Canada.
They have hockey cards?
You're a smart guy, Jeff. You get down to the end of that set, you just need a few last cards, and it gets harder and harder to find them. You buy more and more packs, and then suddenly you open a pack, and there's 3 of those cards you need. Well, Sterling James Keenan's got the opportunity to knock off 3 Super Indies at once.
And there's a tag to Petey Williams. And fabulous John McChesney getting set to the outside.
Oh my God, powerbomb attempt on the floor.
And Petey says, no thanks, I don't want to be on the receiving end of that.
Drops the leg on him onto the ring apron. Incredible counter by Petey Williams. John McChesney in a lot of trouble now. Let's see that resiliency in action.
McChesney had nowhere to go there. His neck was just sandwiched between the corner of the apron and between Petey Williams' leg.
Well, that was would have been a high-risk move, even if he would have hit that move, the sunset flip to the outside. That could have wiped both guys out.
A little bit of limp out of Petey Williams as he makes his way across the ring. Is he hiding a lower back or a hip injury that we were unaware of?
It could be. That X division in the NWA is very competitive.
Look at the vertical leap on the dropkick by McChesney.
Anyway, very high risk. We see Saban's injured. You know, it's a very high-risk, injury-prone style they have in the NWA X division.
And McChesney's competed in that X division before as well. High-risk move again.
Look out. Setting him up for a superflex. All the impact coming down. Fabulous could be able to beat Petey Williams here.
Cover!
And no, Petey kicks out.
And we have to give McChesney credit. This matchup was changed from one-on-one to a 4-way dance, but McChesney doesn't complain. He doesn't whine about losing a shot. He's in there competing like the true athlete he is, trying to prove he's better than anybody else.
He's on a mission to win this Super Indy Championship that he almost won last time we were here in Wilmerding. Now he keeps the fight going against Petey Williams.
And what a match that was against Chris Sabin last month. The first time I ever saw Chris Sabin use a cheap shot. That's how evenly matched that was. And if it wasn't for that, he might have had it. Wait a second. Roller up.
No, only 2. And I was really looking forward to that 2 out of 3 falls match. I hope that happens sometime in the future, but I'm happy to see what we've got here. A lot of diverse elements in this match here.
Never know when that might pop up. Maybe February 25th or 26th in the area of Wilmerding. Check IWCWrestling.com for the details on those huge shows as Petey Williams takes over on John McChesney as the pace starts to slow down and all 3 men start to be a little more careful.
Well, here's the thing. Petey Williams just shot a look over to Sterling James Keenan because he knows face plant on the top turnbuckle, snake eyes.
And Fabulous looking to follow up.
Maybe setting up that cliffhanger DDT, specializes for Petey counters.
No.
Another destroyer.
Again.
Another flip pile driver.
And he hits it.
Man, what a move. That's it. Petey beat another one.
Williams shot that look over to Sterling because he knew that for every second he took to defeat Fabulous, it was another second that Sterling James Keenan got to sit on that ring apron and rest and recoup and get a new game plan. And now he's in there.
Petey caught him.
Third
You can see it
destroyer
again.
coming up.
No.
Countered.
Jackknife
Hooks
pin.
him with a jackknife pin in the rope. And that's it. Keenan wins the title.
Not like that. Not like God damn it. He had the rope. Petey Williams was 2-0 on the Canadian Destroyer, and Shirley Keenan just screwed him out of being a dual champion.
He didn't screw anybody out of anything. And don't give me that not like that business. Sterling James Keenan inserted himself into the match, and he won the match. He is the IWC Super Indy Champion.
And what better way to brag about being the Super Indy Killer than being the Super Indy Champion? Love him or hate him, and I don't respect his tactics, but you gotta respect his talent. Sterling James Keenan is back on top again in the IWC, this time as the Super Indy Champion. Norm Connors is not happy, and neither's Fabulous. You did.
No, you didn't. We're both getting fired.
Is one half of our
Way to be positive.
If there were any match, I'm happy. I'm calling with you.
Thanks, buddy.
IWC's Tag Team Champions.
We'll figure something out.
You're a bastard. I'm gonna cry.
You guys are gonna be great team. This is it, the personal dream match of the IWC promoter Norm Connors, and I can't believe we're seeing it. Southern Comfort defending the IWC Tag Team title against the Midnight Express. I can't believe I'm announcing a match with the Midnight Express.
Jeff, this is not just a personal dream of Norm Connors. I have waited literally 19 years, almost 20 years, to see a match this good. Dennis Condrey, who, as far as I'm concerned, is the Chuck Cunningham of professional wrestling.
That's very good, yeah.
Disappeared off the first season of Happy Days. Where has Dennis Condrey been? Who cares where he's been? He's here right now.
And he has a chance to add another title to the long legacy of the Midnight Express. Beautiful Bobby and Loverboy Dennis.
This is going to be Southern-style, old-school tag team wrestling at its finest. And a lot of our younger fans may not realize the innovation that the Midnight Express provided, the tag team division. They've helped shape tag team divisions into what they are today. They provide so much innovation, they provide so much influence on so many of our younger teams we've seen since.
That's right. They're not just a good team. They're a team that's affected so many other teams. And it's kind of too bad that we don't have Jim Cornette here because he was originally supposed to be in the corner of his Midnight Express.
Jim Cornette had other business. He had attention. You know he's here in spirit. You know he's been on the phone with Eaton and Condrey all day, digging up tidbits on Smothers and Hammer. Cornette will be back in IWC April 9 for Night of Legends 2. But that's not the story right now. Condrey and Smothers tie up.
In fact, Cornette actually interfered in a match with Chris Hamrick, sort of leading up to this match, didn't he?
It cost Hamrick a match against the fabulous John McChesney over in Harrisburg. So Cornette fired the first shot in this war.
I'm gonna take a very odd view of this match. I'm gonna let you in on it. Much like we had that four-way match for the Super Indy title, we've got 4 men in the ring right now. Chris Hamrick. There's no such thing as a bad Chris Hamrick match.
That's true. That's true.
Tracy Smothers may be the single smartest and most articulate man professional wrestling's ever met. Once you get him talking, you are going to learn. Bobby Eaton is an icon for me. Bobby Eaton is the reason that the top rope leg drop became my finisher in my professional wrestling career.
Wow, really? The 1812 leg drop came from him. Or inspired by him, I should say.
Here's where it gets weird. Dennis Condrey is the enigma in this match. Dennis Condrey, a man who had his first match in the 1970s, who disappeared from the wrestling scene, is the unknown factor.
You know, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been a fan of wrestling for a long time, but I've never seen Dennis Condrey wrestle until right now.
I saw Dennis Condrey wrestle when it was fresh and it was new. Well, actually, I shouldn't lie to you. I had to find videotape of Dennis Condrey back when videotape was a new consumer item.
Wow.
Okay?
Was it VHS or beta?
It was VHS, and thank God I found it. I have tape of Dennis Condrey at home from the Mid-Atlantic region, and I think to myself, what happened to this guy? Because, I mean, he's great. No offense to Stan Lane, who is out there watching this somewhere right now, but you can't go wrong with Loverboy Dennis Condrey as your partner.
You got that right.
But as far as this match is concerned, for Smothers and for Hamrick, he is the unknown factor. He disappeared from the professional wrestling scene as they were entering it.
And Eaton working on this armbar here. You're right, he didn't just kind of fade away or just show up here and there. He just vanished.
And let me tell you another thing. This is something I know from personal conversation. The man in the ring right now for Southern Comfort, Chris Hamrick, he was just in there with one of his personal icons, Bobby Eaton. When you see Chris Hamrick climb to the top and throw a top rope leg drop, where do you think he got it from? He got it from his love of Bobby Eaton.
It's just amazing. I'm sure there's a lot of other wrestlers out there inspired by this guy. And now Hamrick working on Dennis Condrey with this headlock here. And we talk about the tag team innovations of Midnight Express. Southern Comfort has very many of their own.
Oh, they're no short of experience as well. Chris Hamrick and Tracy Smothers combined for over 4 decades of experience. They may be the less experienced of this matchup, perhaps, but not necessarily in any other matchup. They are established, wily veterans. Keep in mind the Midnight Express accomplishments. Former NWA World's Tag Team Champions back in, I believe, 1986, when they defeated Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, the famed Rock and Roll Express. And it's a testament to show that these two men are so well remembered and so well respected, even to this day, despite only having one reign as World Tag Team Champions.
That's right. The other version of the Midnight Express with Stan Lane won the belts as well, and they won the U.S. belt several times. But this was the first one in the NWA, the team of Eaton and Condrey.
And Beautiful Bobby is now tagged and also held the NWA and WCW World Tag Team titles with a variety of different partners, including AA Arn Anderson.
Well, to me, Bobby Eaton, there are very few people who, to me, exemplify what tag team wrestling is and should be. Bobby Eaton is one of them. Arn Anderson is another.
There you go.
When the two of them came together as a tag team, I mean, I probably cried the day I heard it.
That was just a total dream team of all dream teams. And now we see Smothers backing beautiful Bobby into the corner.
Well, the Spinebuster was my first finisher. That only lasted long enough for me to perfect the top rope leg drop. And for me to say perfect might be an insult to the man in the ring right now.
Oh, go ahead. He can't hear you right now. The leg drop perfected by Kingdom James off the top rope. Smothers working on Eaton right now. So now's your time to say it. Oh, but Eaton caught Smothers.
And one more thing I want to say to the fans out there, and especially I know that there are other professional wrestlers watching this match right now. And you're seeing a few men in there, Condrey and Eaton especially, who, as far as wrestling goes, are social security bound. I mean, they stretch the definition of veteran.
I'm staying a little long in the tooth.
Don't discount them. This is professional wrestling, okay? I've been hit in the head with chairs and with barbed wire, and I've swung baseball bats at people, and I've seen plenty of fancy finishers. This is professional wrestling.
That's what you see with these guys is Condrey yanking back on the ears of Chris Hamrick. He's got the legs grapevines, so Condrey can do pretty much whatever he wants in there. And that's part of being a veteran is positioning yourself to do damage to yourself. And now the Midnight Express starting to take over here, trying to become the tag team champions.
Well, early on when Hamrick was in the ring with Eaton, he seemed kind of complacent. He seemed kind of docent. When Condrey tagged into the ring and Condrey got a little bit of steam on him, Hamrick jumped to his feet and threw the fisheye at him, threw an evil look at him.
And notice moments ago, beautiful Bobby's offense on Hamrick was on the back of the neck. I do have a scoop. Hamrick has been, oh my God.
Oh no! He's caught up. He's caught up his leg.
We got a problem here. He went for a sort of a jumping moonsault, and his knee. They got to get him down from there.
He's fallen into a tree of woe. Eaton and Condrey getting into the ring. The referee helping him out of it. They're trying to help him out of it. And this is testosterone on Hamrick's part, and it may. Oh!
You gotta be kidding me.
Super kick by high-flying Chris Hamrick. Ladies and gentlemen, that son of a word I cannot say on the air.
A swerve.
A swerve. And the fans getting Southern coming. You've got to be kidding me.
Damn you, Hamrick.
He must have practiced that or something, getting it to look like his knee.
All of that just to gain the advantage in the match.
Oh.
And Southern Comfort is taking the advantage on beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Well, we talked about it. Don't underestimate their experience advantage. They baited Eaton and Condrey, two legends, right in, and they suckered him with that shot.
And I have to say this one more time. Tracy Smothers with the phantom audio tag behind the ears of referee CJ Sensation.
Reigns like that is why Southern Comfort have been the most dominant tag team in IWC since May. Arguably the most dominant of the year. And Tracy Smothers with those karate thrusts threatening Condrey as well.
And I'm sure part of the Midnight Express is angry, but part of them is, why didn't we think of something like that? And now they're putting the boots in.
Laying the boots, all kinds of shoe leather coming Bobby Eaton's way.
Double team by the champions. Shot to the gut, and then another big super kick by Hammer.
We've sung the praises. We have a cover attempt. 2 count. We've sung the praises of the Midnight Express throughout this entire match. What about Southern Comfort? They've been around as a team for 2 or 3 years.
Handful in there, dealing with all these wily veterans.
It is NHL time. We need 2 referees and a couple of linesmen.
A I've said it for months, nobody has chops harder and louder than Chris Hamrick, but beautiful Bobby battling right back.
Condry cheering on his partner, Bobby Eaton, and Hamrick goes right to the eyes.
Ronnie Garvin may have been known as the Hands of Stone, but Bobby Eaton has a fist on him. Oh my God!
Hamrick just went flying through and landed on nothing but hard wood.
Chris Hamrick meet floor.
If he wasn't hurt before, he damn sure is now.
And now he really might be hurt. Like you said, this could be a case of the boy that cried wolf.
Smothers takes over though. Hamrick may be out for the count. Tracy Smothers is not letting this match go to pot.
I've seen a lot of hardcore violent things here in IWC, but I don't know if I've heard a thud as sickening as that.
And now Smothers, he did that fake tag thing again, but there's no way it could have been a real tag. His Hamrick's on the floor.
Not anymore. Now he's mounted into the top turnbuckle.
Here we go. Rocket launcher!
Send it to the Midnight Express!
He used the Midnight Express's own move against them, and that's going to be 2. Eaton kicks out.
Listen, the fact that Chris Hamrick was able to get up and climb to the top rope says something about him. His mother must be a rubber tree plant.
And you saw the innovation right there. There's the leg drop off the ropes, nobody home. We're seeing a ton of Midnight Express influence used against the Midnight Express here.
Well, that's a Carolina jam. We might be seeing an Alabama jam at some point.
Oh, pair of tags is Smothers and Condry, and Loverboy Dennis is wiping everybody out.
Condry throwing those southpaw clotheslines.
Whoa. But Southern Comfort cuts him off, sends him in. Condry ducks under, and takes them both down with clothesline. And now, Hamrick gets airmailed to the floor. Well, Hamrick's really had a rough night, hasn't he? Double team Smothers. Flapjack!
Flapjack by the Midnight Express!
That's the way it's done, and they win the title!
New champion! What a night!
Ladies and gentlemen,
The Midnights have come back after over 15 years in seclusion, and they've won their one last major tag team title.
Kingdom James, you were talking about the timeless quality of this kind of wrestling. Let me put it in perspective for you. It's almost 2005, and the Midnight Express are the tag team champions.
discombobulation. The face hitting the mat, knocking that brain into convulsions, and the Midnight Express are the IWC Tag Team Champions, and frankly, I couldn't be in a happier place.
And neither can Norm Connors, our promoter. This is the dream match that he personally booked. I think it came out pretty nice no matter who won, but the Midnight Express are the tag team champions now.
Comfort in the ring, offering handshakes, wanting to show some respect to the Midnight Express. I don't think Dennis Condry or Bobby Eaton are buying it.
This is it, the IWC Championship on the line in a street fight. We see Balls Mahoney defending the title for the first time against Shirley Doe. Jeff Gorman here along with Joe Dombrowski and Kingdom James.
Folks, I'm going to get this out of the way real quick. In 1996, I moved from Canada to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I was lucky enough to be greeted by a guy who called professional wrestling matches the way they should be called and was smart enough to appreciate me for who I was. And was nice enough not to goof on me a little too much when I talked too much about Canada. His name was Jeff Gorman, and this is the last professional wrestling match he will ever call. And if I break down into tears during this match, you'll know why. Because I love this man, in we're guys, let's invade a country kind of way. And the fact that I'm never going to sit next to a microphone with him again hurts me.
Thank you very much, Keenan. I really appreciate that. And I will always thank you for calling me excruciatingly heterosexual.
You are, and stop touching me.
Okay, I will. Shirley Doe and Balls Mahoney for the title. It's Street Fight, and that harkens back to March of '02. Wait a minute. The street fight they had in Uniontown, the stuff of legend. Now the title's on the line. And Balls taking down the challenger, Shirley Doe, as he goes to the eye.
And keep in mind how this all started last month at Accept No Limitations. Balls Mahoney versus Shirley Doe. It was actually a technical match, but Commission Rep Chris Wood was watching. And when he tried to get involved, Balls Mahoney turned his back on Shirley Doe, hit him with a chair, hugged Wood, and ended up winning the IWC title. And now the title is in Chris Wood's possession.
And that is something that is absolutely an abomination. If you'd see what Chris Wood has been coming out, screwing up all our shows, going off in his anti-hardcore rants.
Been a power
Look
trip.
out! Crutch to the back of the head.
And we find out now it's not about Chris Wood's dislike of violence. It's all about messing with Norm Connors and making IWC as tough to run as possible as Balls Mahoney breaking out the heavy artillery.
That's right. Kingdom, you remember this. Back in ECW's heyday, Chris Wood was the biggest ECW mark I've ever seen. And I never understood why he would come out here against hardcore wrestling.
Calling Chris Wood an ECW mark would be like calling the sun warm. Chris Wood must have such a deep and unabiding hatred of both Norm Connors and Shirley Doe.
Back suplex. I'm sure he always thought that he got a raw deal back in Steel City Wrestling, wasn't treated nicely, wasn't treated with respect. This is his big revenge. I always thought that he was doing the anti-hardcore thing just as a cheap paycheck from the commission. But he's not a sellout, he's a hypocrite, as it was just a...
Very interesting strategy for a street fight involving Balls Mahoney. Compare and contrast this, Jeff, with how the Uniontown street fight of a couple years ago started out.
Well, that one did start slow too. Quick roll up here. It didn't really have as much mat wrestling as this match does. Nice clothesline, but it just kept building and building and building with one big move after another, and it finally climaxed with Balls winning that match and the street fight. But now,
here we go.
See, it's about to ratchet up a couple levels.
Balls is going to the heavy artillery. He's wedged the chair in between the second and top rope in the far corner, and he's got his hands full of Doe's hair.
Headbutt by Balls Mahoney.
And these men develop such a deep respect for each other through their battles against each other in the ring, then their partnership in the ring. The very fact that Balls Mahoney right now, head first into the chair, the fact that Balls Mahoney is the champion through the aid of Chris Wood, it's a betrayal. It's probably the deepest betrayal that Shirley Doe has suffered through his professional wrestling career.
That's right, because you know your opponent's trying to beat you. Shirley Doe, I'm sure, wouldn't have had a problem with getting beaten by the better man on that day. But Balls got the win, but not because he was a better man, but because he sold out to Chris Wood.
And remember, their original street fight was just about personal pride.
He's biting him.
This match, in contrast, is about the title. It's about a rivalry. It's about hatred. The stakes are definitely up. for this street fight.
That's right. You talked about contrast to that previous match. Shirley Doe has really risen in estimation since that match all the way up until now. Not just in the fans' eyes, but in Balls Mahoney's eyes. He really sees Shirley Doe as an even more worthy opponent. Remember, Doe beat him during the IWC title tournament in 2003.
Doe trying to hook in the silly head, the double underhook DDT, and Balls counters.
With the Nutcracker Sweep.
That could be it right here. Balls Mahoney retaining the title.
No. Doe kicks out.
If I'm not mistaken, we need to get a better camera angle on this. I think Doe has fingernails alone dug open. Yes, he has. Balls Mahoney's flesh. Balls is bleeding. I don't know about profusely, but he's bleeding from the forehead.
I'm sure that chair shot he took in the corner didn't help matters either. Balls Mahoney. Now, the blood takes a definite toll on you when you're in a match as it draws out. The blood gets in your eyes. It saps you of your energy. Shirley Doe has the advantage here, or at least has a potential to exploit a weakness and get an advantage, even though he's in trouble now.
But it's also really fired up Balls Mahoney. The fact that he realizes that he's bleeding, he's starting to turn it up a couple more notches.
Saying
Here
goodbye,
we go.
Doe.
No! Well, it was bye-bye Doe, only in a different way.
Went for the leg drop and missed onto the chair himself. Doe firing up with those big forearms.
Now sending Mahoney into the corner. Big backdrop.
Wow. That's over 300 pounds up and over his head.
Nicely done. Elbow, Doe getting ahead of steam. Got him in the back, and a clothesline takes down Balls Mahoney.
Fires a shot into his lower back on the way past, straightening Balls up, straightening him, standing him up straight for that lariat clothesline, but he only gets the 2 count.
Chris Wood trying to get the fans behind Balls. And it's really inspired many of them to start chanting for Doe. Both men back up, title on the line in this street fight.
Well, we've really lucked out in this match with Bruce Gray as our official. If there's anybody in IWC who can call this right down the line, keep this in order, it's going to be Bruce Gray.
He is our senior official. And Balls trying to soften up Shirley Doe. We know it takes a lot to do that.
There's nothing pretty about this match. This is all about ill will and hatred. Doe able to duck.
Whoa! And there's the forearm to the face, too.
And you can tell the hatred both men are exemplifying here. They're not trying to be pretty. They're not trying to be fancy. They're not trying to be technical. They're just trying to punch the hell out of each other.
Well, this is back to the beginning of their feud, where there was no respect for each other, just hatred, just the goal of beating one another in the ring.
And now, Doe looking under the ring. Grabbing
Got
the
a
table.
table.
Here we go.
Doe's got wood. I don't mean Chris.
And he's got the table in the ring.
That was an awful pun, by the way.
Thank you.
Awful, yet inevitable.
Awful good.
But regardless, this match is going to get a lot uglier before it gets better with this table into play. Not only do you see a table implemented into an IWC match, that just shows how these two men are thinking. That just shows what the stakes are here.
That's right, because you don't see tables all the time here in the IWC.
There's 2 tables at ringside here, 2 steel chairs.
Oh, Doe had the Russian leg sweep, but he set the table up and it allowed Balls to get him from behind.
Just a matter of time to see who gets the worst end of that table. And Mahoney setting up Doe, back suplex.
Uh-oh, Doe blocking it for all he's worth.
Doe needs to block this. This could be the end if he gets his head driven through that table.
They're both battling for it. And now Balls takes a different tack into the other top turnbuckle.
Well, gonna soften him up on the other side of the ring before he puts him through the table. He's got the tape from his wrist now, choking out Shirley Doe.
Trying to weaken him into a state of unconsciousness so he can drive him through that table.
No, clothesline. Doe did a very good job of avoiding that table.
Doe from the breaks, but Balls had the answer back to him with the clothesline.
Chris Wood egging his man on from ringside. The fact that Chris Wood has control of the IWC title just sickens me.
It's really, really disgusting. This is a guy who has spent his entire career playing off his authority for his own personal gain. First as a referee, and then as a commission representative.
Both men have chairs and they're squaring off. They've seen it.
Here come the dueling chairs. Whoa. To the gut. Oh!
But Doe doesn't move.
No, he says no.
And look at the dent.
Number
Look
2,
at the dent.
he's dead to that seat.
He's switching chairs.
And
Well, the solid steel chair put him down.
took 3 shots from 2 different chairs to knock Shirley down.
Almost shades of back in 1998 when it was Balls, Mahoney, and Masato Tanaka exchanging those shots.
Yes, good memory there, Joe. 2 count. Balls back to his feet. And for all the success Balls has had,
He's getting frustrated.
Doe's got a chair. Doe is up behind Mahoney with the chair.
ooh,
Balls tried to block it.
another one.
Ducked the second shot slightly. Third
Wow,
shot.
he's wearing it.
Third shot, he tried to duck it to get out of the way in time, and
he
Balls
goes.
Mahoney collapses.
Here comes Joe. And 2. Only 2.
Not enough.
You know, Balls has held tag team titles in ECW. This is probably his first big singles title. The only one I know of. He may have had some others in some other promotions, but Balls is a singles champion. You don't often see it, and he's not going to let this title go without a fight.
3 reigns as an ECW World Tag Team Champion, but this is the highest profile singles title he's had to date. You're right.
Whoa! Super kick by Balls Mahoney. And now he's ready to put Doe through the table. Uh-oh, he's getting set up here. And Shirley Doe's title hopes maybe going up in smoke here. You know, if Doe doesn't win this thing, it might be a long time before he gets another title shot, since there's so many worthy contenders to in line for his title shot.
Mahoney's got some kind of hardcore feng shui going, placing that table exactly where he wants in the ring.
Hardcore feng shui. I love that.
Thank you.
I hope you guys start to get some good respect on the message boards, because you guys really deserve it.
We don't
I don't
even
care if I have to post on a bunch of fake names. I'm going to say you guys are great.
Come on, we don't even respect each other.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a jerk. Why are you leaving me here with him?
Whoa!
Look at this leg drop!
Top rope leg drop through the table.
This got serious quick. Doe's neck compressed. He went through that table neck first with a 300-pound leg driving it in there.
And Chris Wood says, this is it. It's over. Just cover him and it's over. Wood with a big grin on his face.
And the annoying overbearing Wood gets his way. Balls
Oh, no.
Shirley Doe
No.
refusing to lose.
I don't know how he kicked out of that one. I thought Doe was out of it.
I've seen Doe in a lot of hardcore situations, but even I'm surprised that he kicked out. What are you doing in the ring, damn you,
And here
Wood?
comes Chris Wood, just walking in with all the confidence in the world. It's a street fight. He's allowed to do this.
Listen, Chris Wood wouldn't have the Balls Mahoney to get into that ring if Shirley Doe weren't flat on his back right now. I'm stretching the limits of safe harbor.
Right. Doe could go through table number 2 here.
I don't see how Doe would be able to get out of the second table. I cannot see him kicking out.
Wood directing traffic with the IWC champion, saying, trust me, I helped you win the title.
Mahoney doesn't seem to have a problem with
Keep
it.
it.
Chris Wood is the biggest scumbag IWC has ever seen.
He's holding on. No! He was trying to hold Doe in place, and he couldn't even do that right.
Oh, this is going to be dangerous.
And now Balls is in big trouble.
Very
Look at
high-risk
this.
situation here.
Through the table.
We got almost 600
Look out!
pounds on top rope.
Superplex through the table.
And I think Balls Mahoney landed back of his head first. The table was overshot slightly, but it went to Doe's advantage because Balls' head got driven into that table almost brainbuster-like fashion.
And this has really been turned around quickly.
Doe's got to get on
Doe.
top. He's got to hook that leg and make a 3. Can he?
2. No! Balls kicked out. Gets superplex through a table.
I've seen Balls in a lot of hardcore situations, and even that surprised me.
What is it going to take for one of these 2 men to win this match?
And just the entire history between these two is just taking more and more and more to beat each other.
And there's more and more stakes on the line here. Winner is IWC champion. Winner is the representative of this promotion going into 2005. And Chris Wood's still in the ring, damn him.
Shirley Doe has folded up this table, exposing the metal.
Wood goes downstairs.
What is this?
He's-
Is it powder in the eyes?
No.
Come on.
Powder in the eye. Don't
No.
He hits Mahoney with it.
Joe setting him up.
Balls is blinded.
Pushes Wood. Magic bullet.
Blocked.
Powdered.
Balls can't see. He still blocked the magic bullet. And there's the silly head DDT on the table.
Into the metal underneath the table.
He got it.
New IWC champion.
We got all new champions tonight. Joe wins the title.
What an unbelievable night. Three championship matches, 3 new champions crowned.
Chris Wood is irate. He cannot believe that the title has slipped out of his grasp just like that.
And let's see what happens in the ring here with Wood and Doe. They're both still in the ring together.
Wood can be as irate as he wants to be. It's his own incompetence that cost his man the IWC heavyweight title.
And Chris Wood is living.
Joe's celebrating. He's now a 2-time IWC champion, joining Jimmy Vegas and Dennis Gregory as that on.
In just a span of a month, Wood has gained all the power and watched it slip through his fingers as a result of a Shirley Joe victory.
And ironically, if he would have just let Balls Mahoney wrestle the match by himself, Balls might have won.
He may very well have, as Chris Wood is irate at Balls Mahoney, and they're both still in the ring.
Balls in big trouble here.
I don't think our action's done.
He's having a hard time walking.
Something
Wait a
wrong
minute.
with Balls. A leg or knee or ankle, something. And now Wood.
He just slapped Mahoney twice.
Wood is signing a suicide note. He's slapping Balls
What are
Mahoney.
you doing, Chris? And Wood getting out of there as fast as he can. He could have got his head taken off.
Wood bails. Smart move by the commission rep.
Running for his life, Chris Wood.
And it looks like Balls Mahoney may have seen the light. As we conclude IWC A Call to Arms 2. Jeff, usually this will be the time for you to ask us our final thoughts on the night, but it's only fitting that with your career ending, you offer your final thoughts on your career and close the show.
Thank you very much, Joe. This has been an outstanding night of wrestling. I've absolutely loved being in the pro wrestling business, being here in the IWC. If there's anything I love more, of course, it's got to be my family, and I'm sure this is going to be what's best for them. It's been a pleasure. I've worked among some of the best, some of the coolest, some of the guys I've liked the best. People like Dave Prazak, people like Hotshot Drew Lazario right here, Mark Madden, Larry Zbyszko, but I don't think I've really had as much fun as working with you guys. This has been truly something unique. Just like Monday Night Football, only wrestling, only better. Joe, you're going to be an outstanding play-by-play guy. I was watching your work. I think the best thing that could happen for you as an announcer is for you to take this spot. You're going to be fine. Kingdom, you are the color commentator of the 21st century. You've got it all. I think you guys will be great if you don't kill each other. Thanks again to everybody in the IWC. Thanks for Norm Connors. Once again, Norm predicted at the final Steel City show that I would make it into the big time. I think that being in Ring of Honor has done that, and I think IWC is pretty darn big time too. Thank you very much, Joe, Kingdom. I love you guys. I'll let you guys close the show.
Well, that's it for the trio. I guess the duo debuts next show.
Time to take over, Kingdom. As we hear Chuck Roberts give the closing thoughts, it's going to be a great 2005, Kingdom. I almost look forward to working it with you. For Anthony Kingdom James, this is Joe Dabrowski. We'll see you in 2005.